there you are, YouTube. Do subscribe if you're interested. Maybe give it a like too, the thumbs up. Hey, let's do a random ranking today. Let's go to my movie collection behind me and pick out 3 movies at random and then rank those movies from most favorite to least favorite based on whatever criteria we come up with. I'll rank them here in the video, but if you'd like to rank them in the comments below, please feel free to do so. And do so with whatever criteria you wanna use. Maybe different than mine. I don't even know what my criteria is going to be because we'll come up with that criteria based on the movies themselves. It'll just surface. It will surface from that. So let's get to picking those movies. All right. You know what? Let's go all the way down here. Down in this corner. Picked a movie. Feels like a DVD. And then, you know what, let's pick one over here. And then, what do you say? Maybe down here at the bottom. Okay, oh, there we go. One of them gonna be Superman. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, nope, that's not Superman. It is a superhero, though. Okay. Yeah, this is good. This is a good lineup. We got ketchup and mustard here. But I'll do those later. First we have X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I think this one was easily the worst X-Men movie that's ever been made, like by far. But then Dark Phoenix came out, or I don't know, what did I dislike more? Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix? I don't know, those two weren't that good either. So then it wasn't like a worst by far anymore, because this one actually has some like cool moments, like the opening credits as we were watching Wolverine and Sabretooth, their lives through time, the different wars that they fought in, those different experiences that they went through. That's all really cool. Maybe that's it. But it has that. And plus this one just ruined all sorts of continuity, like so badly. With like with Charles Xavier, I think like Emma Frost, I think there's some screw ups there a little bit. Those things probably already existed within the franchise, but this one really ruined things. I don't like the way they handled the Blob at all. Deadpool, I mean, what? That was sort of rectified, though, with the Deadpool movies when Deadpool went back and then basically killed this Deadpool. Oh, Gambit. Oh, gosh, forgot he was in it. Ugh, I don't like this Gambit. I was supposed to be Gambit. In my mind, I was supposed to be Gambit if I had become an actor, gotten fit, and worked on a Cajun accent. I could have been Gambit. I always had tried to style my hair like Gambit. I always wanted my hair to look like him. That was like a dream role, I guess, for me to play Gambit in an X-Men movie. But then this guy from Friday Night Lights, who just bombs everything he does, that Mars movie he was in with John Carter or whatever. What is his name? Tim Riggins. He just Taylor Kitsch or something like that. I don't know. No hard feelings. I feel like I've been really mean to him, but I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous because back in the day, when I was young, I wanted to play Gambit in an X-Men movie. But yeah, the opening credits is good. Next, we have Little Miss Sunshine. This was nominated for Best Picture. And this is sort of like when those like hipster indie movies were sort of happening, and that was a lot of fun. I really liked that time. I don't know if I appreciated that time as it was happening, but looking back, I'm pretty nostalgic for it. As time passes, you look back on that previous decade and you're like, you know what, that was pretty cool too. The 90s, I felt like I always knew I was in this golden era. Like everything was just like, was great. I loved it. And then 2000s, I spent a lot of that time wishing the 90s were still around and portions of the 80s, right? But then once this period passed, the There was a lot of good stuff that came out, and I like this movie. I like this type of vibe that was going on, all that hipster stuff that was happening, the polyphonic spree, Sufjan Stevens, movies like this, movies like Juno, movies like Dan in Real Life. I don't know, just like those little hipster movies, mumblecores, those types of things. Not all mumblecore. Actually, I don't even think I like mumblecore. Your Wes Andersons. I know he'd been around already, but you know, stuff was going on. The Steve Zissou crowd, you know. But yeah, I really like this movie. Alan Arkin won an Oscar for it, which is cool. But yeah, great little film. This was the mustard I was referring to. Now we have the catch-up, Starsky and Hutch. This was really cool when this was being made, when it came out, because it was a show that my dad would always talk about. My dad's first car was a Gran Torino, and my first car was a Gran Torino. And if you don't know what this is right here, that's a Gran Torino. So, interestingly though, this Gran Torino is like 1 year off from what my dad had. I think this is 1 year older, and then my dad had the following year. And then I think I had the following year after that. I'm not a car guy, so I don't really remember. My dad's a car guy, but it didn't really pass down to me, so I don't memorize that type of stuff. I don't know brands. I don't know companies. I don't know anything about that. I know car, van, truck. Car, van, truck. That's what I know. I could spot a Jeep. But yeah, so I'm this young kid, 16, with a Gran Torino, not knowing how cool that is. But I think, you know, it was like a car that didn't last very long, because it was a hunk of junk, and that's ended up happening to it. We had to junk it because it was just like so bad, and I didn't know how to keep it up, and my dad, he was working, he couldn't really keep it up either, so it was I don't know, it was cool to have, but it wasn't long lasting. Then at what it was my second car, a Regal, a Buick Regal, and then after that I had a Taurus. Was a Taurus my next car? Regal Taurus? I think so. Taurus? Yeah. And then I had a Concorde for a little bit. And then a 4Runner. And now a Kia. Yeah. And a van. But anyway. Yeah, so Starsky and Hutch. My dad, I'm sorry, I just went off the rails there on stuff that nobody cares about. I'm just going down memory lane here. But Starsky and Hutch was a show that I never really watched. I think I've only seen maybe a couple episodes, just a small handful of episodes, but it was one that my dad really liked. And then my dad obviously liked the car. He got the car when he was a kid, when he was 16, whatever. And then he was like, you know, always like, Gran Torinos are awesome. So I was like, I want one too. And then it was just like again, a junker type of thing. It wasn't as nice as this, and it wasn't as nice as my dad's. But, you know, I think this movie is interesting. It's not really like the show. It's sort of like a spoof on the show, but not like a heavy spoof, but some parts are. Amy Smart is in it. And then who's the other one? Is that Carmen Electra? Yeah. Beautiful women right there. I always had the hots for Amy Smart. Sort of like was talking with this girl that kind of looked like her back in college. Nothing, you know, long term really happened. We would, you know, go out on a lot of dates. Went and saw Grindhouse with her. Saw The Core with her. What else did we do? We'd eat lunch together between classes every Friday, I think it was, at Subway on the quad if it was warm, or it was in the Union. It was a good time. I wonder if she ever thinks about that anymore. But yeah, I always thought, you know, it was cool because she looked like Amy Smart, and I thought Amy Smart was cute. So, okay. All right, how are we going to rank these? You know, it's weird because, like, X-Men, I will always say is my favorite superhero franchise. Like, when people say, what do you like best? Of all these superhero movies, what are your favorite? I'm always going to say X-Men. But they failed a lot. They have failed a lot. I don't like this movie. I don't like Apocalypse, and I don't like Dark Phoenix. And parts of 3 I don't like, but I also think parts of 3 has some of the best things to offer. I actually did like New Mutants. I liked, was that all of them? Oh, I like all the, Wolverine movies except this one. But still, what X-Men did for me was a literal dream come true. Seeing that in a theater was all I wanted as a kid, to see those characters hit the screen, and then it finally happened. And then, Beast is my favorite character. If you see my collection up there, he is in the first film. Actually, the animated Beast, he, like, from right there from the 90s show, is in the movie as well. He's the truck driver that takes Rogue to Laughlin City, Canada. And yeah, so we don't get, like, the Beast I wanted to see till the third one, which is awesome. I love Kelsey Grammer, but even though, that third movie I'm not as into. But anyway, all I guess I'm trying to say is, I love X-Men, but there are some X-Men movies that I just can't put towards the top. Look at this, Ebert and Roper. So Roper is who took over after Gene Siskel died. So Siskel and Ebert at the movies. But Roper and Ebert gave this 2 thumbs up. They said, a lot of fun from start to finish. Also, I'm just remembering, did Todd Phillips do this? The Joker director? I think so. Because there's also that band in there that, like, swears heavily in their stuff, but you wouldn't expect it, or something like that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Little Miss Sunshine. Every now and then I turn around, 'cause I need you more than ever. I effing, they're always doing that or something. They're like playing a bar mitzvah or a wedding or a sweet 16 or something like that. Bat mitzvah. I'm not sure. But okay, Little Miss Sunshine's number 1. Then I'm going to go Starsky and Hutch. But Starsky and Hutch is funny. I need to rewatch that again, because it's been a while. But I remember thinking it was really funny, but I haven't returned to it in a while. And then X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is always sad to do because I love the X-Men, but they made a handful of movies that I really don't like, and that's one of them. Special effects were so bad. Those Roger Rabbit blades coming out of Wolverine's knuckles, and he's chopping down kitchen bathroom sinks with them, and it's just, they look like the bullets from Roger Rabbit or something. Anyway, that's my ranking. Here it is one more time. My question to you is, have you seen these movies? And if so, what do you think of them? And if you've seen all 3, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Look at that sun bleach. It's supposed to be this yellow. Boom. Don't put your stuff out in the sun. That's why slip covers are cool. That's why I like slip covers, because they protect the spine. But let me know if you've seen these movies. Let me know what you think of them. And if you've seen all 3, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.